Hey, welcome to Humans of MetaGame, a meta radio podcast about, the humans of MetaGame. We'll be interviewing the players and patrons of MetaGame about who they are, how they got here, why are they here, and why do they even like MetaGame? Why? Welcome, man. Finally have you on.
Yes. Finally.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Pretty good.
How's ECC?
It was good. It was good. Finally able to see some people that I wasn't able to see for a long time, and also finally meet some people for the first time, like Hamad, who been working for almost 2 years now, and I've never met.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, goddamn restrictions, man. Yeah, I'm so sorry that you won't be able to come out to Italy.
Yeah, it's some really weird restrictions. Like I said, they've blocked all flights, all outgoing flights until the end of August. Yeah, I'm just hoping maybe I can go to eat Denver, which is in February now.
Wait until the end of August?
Yeah, until the end of August, all flights are blocked outside of India and going out of India, international.
But then it might still be possible because this is on the 3rd of September.
Yeah, I mean, so the way it was until last week, it was until the end of July. Now they extended it to the end of August, and the issue is I need to get visa and everything, and I don't know if they'll even approve it with the situation.
Right, that's crappy. Let's get into some nicer topics, and hope that there's still a possibility for this. Yeah, for the people who don't know you, you want to tell us where do you come from?
Of course, I'm from India, born and brought up in Bangalore. Yeah, I did my schooling here, but then I went to study up north in India, and then came back to Bangalore, worked here for a few years, and I'm a software developer, but I'm also interested in mathematics, interested in yoga, and a lot of different things. Yeah, I mean, where do I start? I mean, there's so much to talk about myself. You ask me some questions, I can answer.
Yes, no, wait, you said you studied art.
I didn't study art. I do art. I studied something called mathematics and computing. That's my bachelor's degree. So it has math and computer science. That was a time when I was really interested in mathematics. I mean, that's how I got into crypto space also, because that was like an intersection of mathematics and like applied mathematics, because I was into pure math for a while. I participated in Olympiads. I was almost going to go to the International Math Olympiad, but then it is just not something for me, I realized. And while doing those things is when I came upon the Diffie-Hellman protocol, the protocol behind public key cryptography, right? And that's what got me into cryptography initially. And then diving deeper into cryptography is when I found blockchain. Yeah, and then I'm here.
That makes more sense, because I was like, wait, you studied art, and then the next sentence was, and I'm in software engineering. Like, what? How did that happen? What's between those? Yeah, that makes more sense. And so, like, after you finished studying and you were, I guess, still researching mathematics, but did you find some job in between, or how did that go?
Oh yeah, so that's the whole story. So I finished my bachelor's in 2016, I think. And then right after I got into this e-commerce startup. I wouldn't call it a startup now. It's a pretty big conglomerate now. It's like a competitor to Amazon in India. It's called Flipkart. So I worked there for 2 years as a full stack dev. Yeah, that was corporate life. And I joined thinking I'm going to quit in a year's time. because I knew that's not for me. Even when
You didn't think what?
I joined thinking I'll quit in a year's time,
Oh, okay.
but I ended up staying for 2 years. But finally, I knew I that was it for me, and I quit. I think end of 2018.
What was the experience like? Why did you quit?
So like the stuff that I was working on was pretty interesting. I was part of the security team, so I was in charge of stopping hackers from hacking into our internal cloud and building tools and services and stuff. But the lifestyle was what I hated. So like I'll be working first of all on somebody else's idea. Anytime they'll ask me to be up, and I'll be working on it all day, and then I come back at 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. and I'll be so tired. And also there's so much traffic in Bangalore, you don't know, it's crazy. So just the travel itself was a big deal. So I'll always, first traveling to the office would be tiring, traveling back would be tiring, and I come home, I don't want to cook, and then I end up ordering. So I start getting fat. And so that was something I really did not like, and I would end up watching these people on the roads. It's so much traffic. Okay, so I'm just looking at these people, and everybody is running to their jobs. And I'm like, why are you running to these jobs? And what do you really want to do these jobs? And I started thinking about these things, and in the back of my mind, I wanted to travel for a while. I always wanted to travel. So that's what the idea was. I joined Flipkart, worked there for a year, save up some money, and then quit and travel for a while, like just backpack.
Nice.
So then one day, this was crazy. So there's this other senior dude in the office. He's a nice chap. He was like 20, 25, 30 years senior to me, but he was working in the same office, very similar desk and everything. And one day, it's just like both of us arrived to the office. I'm on my two-wheeler, he's on his two-wheeler, and very similar two-wheelers. We went park, and we got onto the lift, went up, sat down on the desk, almost like I was mirroring his actions. And he put his charger in, I put my charger in, we sat down, put my headphones on, started walking. And I'm just looking at him. He started to work and he's continuing. I'm just looking at him and staring. I'm thinking, is this me in 20 years' time? I'm just going to be here doing the same old thing every day. And that was it. And I'm like, I quit in the next week or so.
The realization. Nice. And where did you go to travel? Like in the Western world, people like quit their corporate job and then go backpack India. But you were already in India, so
Yeah, so I back to India. So I think almost the whole of 2019 and the first, like till Feb of 2020, I was just backpacking around India, staying in hostels, trekking, and just meeting random travelers. Like, yeah, that was a fun time.
it's nice. And like during your corporate life, like what was that like inside the company? Did you, like, was it the usual like uninspiring place where people just tell you what to do? Was it cool in some way? Yeah.
So my team was a very new team in the company. So in that sense, it was actually not that uninspiring. And the manager that I had was also pretty cool. So he was more hands-on, and so I got to build everything from scratch. It was not something like I had to maintain some existing project or something. So that way it was interesting. But then the politics was crazy. And so basically, we were part of the security team. So we were building services to like basically secure all the other services. Like the major Flipkart teams, there's so many different teams, and everybody was building different kinds of products. And our idea was to build some products that everybody can use to build better secure products. But then what the problem was adoption. So we would go talk to different teams, and none of them would even care about security. They're just like, I mean, literally when I joined, and I messaged the IT team asking for sudo access, and I just told them I'm part of the security team. This is within like a week or so of joining, and I had sudo access to all the production cloud services like of Flipkart. like literally all. I could just do SSH to all of them and do sudo remove everything, and everything would just shut down. I had that much access.
Instantly got it.
Yeah, and that was just insane for me, like how easy it was. But yeah, I did have fun working there, because by the time I left, it was not that easy to get access. We made a lot of improvements there. But again, it was really hard to get other people to understand security. And just when I quit, 2 weeks later, my manager also quit, because he also couldn't deal with the politics. He told me that 20% of his time was building actual products, and 80% of his time was arguing with other team heads about why security is important and why they should adopt these practices.
Damn. Okay, so then you traveled. You back for almost a year.
Yeah.
And then you get back home and you're like, okay, so time to start doing some shit again. Time to start earning money again. And what was that like?
Yeah. So I'd heard about Ethereum just before I started backpacking. Was when I think it was 2018, the first boom, where everybody was investing in crypto. Like I was like, so I did some research and I found out about Ethereum then. So I was like, wow, Ethereum is awesome. This is going to be super cool. I invested some money in Ethereum, but didn't really do anything more. And then I traveled for a year, came back, and then I knew, okay, I still wasn't sure what do I want to do, like with my life. I just traveled. The idea was I'll travel, I'll find out what I want to do in life, I'll figure out everything. But I came back still completely confused. And then I had this, I don't know if this is censored, but I used acid. So I had this trip for like a day or so with my partner. And that's when I just decided it doesn't matter anything. I know blockchain is awesome. I don't know what is there for me. I'm just going to start learning, start doing some courses. Let's see what happens. And then I did some courses on Coursera and Solidity development. And then I was just searching for, like, just every day what I would do is do some courses, like go into forums, go see what's happening. And somehow on some Ethereum Reddit thread, I found Gitcoin. And that's how I started. I opened Gitcoin, and this was April 2020. And then COVID had just hit. I was at home, and it's like, and Gitcoin released this hackathon called Stop COVID-19 Hackathon. And then I participated in that. Again, I didn't know much about Solidity development, and I knew some front-end dev, but I had just done one project with React before that. So I was really new. But then I had like development skills. Like I could pick up any language I wanted, but I still wasn't experienced at all. Somehow, like I was just going around projects. I didn't have any ideas also. I just wanted to build something. And James Simboris got me. I don't know if you know James from Trojan DAO. So he found me.
I just met him in Paris. I mean, I knew him from the internet from before, but finally met him in real life.
Yeah, he's a super cool dude. So he found me, and so we got onto working on this project with him. So basically the idea was to build a supply chain for 3D printed masks, 3D printed PPEs, basically in Greece, where he's from, during that COVID time. So we built the whole, like, we had another smart contract dev. I worked on the front end, and we came, I think, second in that hackathon.
Nice.
And I got I think $1,000 worth ETH that time, and it was a big thing for me. I was like, wow, I can do work and earn everything in crypto. I was like, wow, what is this? And none of my family even understood anything. I'm like, I earned $1,000, and they're like, show me the money. I'm like, it's in ETH, and they're not. What is ETH?
What is ETH? Is that real?
They like, show it to me in rupees. Yeah, exactly. Is this some magic internet money? What are you talking about? But yeah, that's when I realized, okay, this could be actually viable.
And how does it, like those $1,000 worth of ETH, how did they compare to your like previous salary in Flipkart?
Previous salary in Flipkart? So I was earning more than $1,000 per month. But then I had to work in like when I was working there in Flipkart, I had to move away from family, and I had to live in my own apartment, like share it with people, and a lot of those things. None of those things was needed. I was at home, I could do whatever I wanted, and that way, like, it was definitely less than what I was earning in Flipkart. But then it's in ETH, and I know ETH's price was also increasing. I think that time it was like 7 ETH or something. I wasn't really thinking about. It's just that I hadn't earned anything for a year, and my savings was going down. And $1,000 is very. It's a lot of money in India. Like, if you want to survive, I can travel a long time in India for $1,000. I was thinking like that only. Like, I was still in that travel space in my head. I just need some money to travel so I can stay in some hostels, and I can work on the internet and earn and doing some cool shit. So that was very exciting for me.
And so you continued traveling then, or like did you?
No, that was COVID time, right? So I had to be home.
Oh yeah.
So I was home, and this hackathon was done, and then after that we were trying to continue the work that we were doing, but one thing led to another. Like, some of the team members weren't coming up to the calls and stuff, so it didn't really move. And so we were just, me and James were still excited, but we couldn't really do much, just two of us. And I think after like a month or two was DAO Hack Month, Fork the World and DAO Hack Month. That was, I don't know, June or July.
So you continued working on Gitcoin after winning those $1,000, and then MetaGame's hackathon came up.
Yeah, and so through James, I was working on some other things also with James, and then DAO Hack Month came. So we worked on something in DAO Hack Month with James. I also found MetaGame that time, and yeah. So then I think I got into some call with you and Hamad, and you guys were building something, and it sounded cool, like the decentralized profiles. It's like, okay, let's do this, and I knew some React, so I just sent some PRs, and I wasn't really thinking much, and after some time only I read the wiki, and when I read the wiki, that's when my mind was blown. Like, wow, what is this? Like, all my thoughts, somebody actually wrote about them. How?
Nice. So you first discovered the profile, just started working on the profile, but you didn't like actually go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And then when you did, then you really became interested.
Yeah, that was like linked, like, wow, gamifying everything and building a whole new system. Because for a long time, I would just talk to my friends and be like, dude, the system sucks, the government sucks, nothing's going to work, everything's going to shit. But also in the back of my mind, I was like, there's no point just like saying that unless you're actually coming up with a new system. The existing system works, although it sucks, like, it still works to some extent. Simply talking shit about it is not going to resolve anything. And then when I saw MetaGame, we are actually trying to build a new alternate system. Although it's a big experiment, at least we're trying something, we're building something new, something cool. And that was really exciting for me. And that is still exciting for me. And that's why I still continue to build on MetaGame.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, the same experience here. Like for years and years, just talking shit with my friends and like, oh, it all sucks. The government sucks. The system sucks. But like, never even occurred before then that like there is a chance that we can make some changes. We can try something. Because like most people just feel completely powerless. And like I did too, at least until I discovered crypto and realized, okay, like this really gives us a chance to like try some new things and maybe start over in a way. Because up until then I didn't see any kind of chance of like really changing anything.
Yeah, exactly, man. I always had thoughts that, okay, we need to do something to change the world, but I didn't know where to start, what to do. And I'm really glad I found MetaGame. And yeah, I got into that rabbit hole and still falling.
And then like when you told your friends or family about MetaGame, did they think you're crazy?
Yeah, I mean, my parents still think I'm crazy. They don't know, they still don't understand cryptocurrencies, right? Like, I try to talk to them about it. I mean, MetaGame is like, leave MetaGame, they can't understand MetaGame. But at least I talk to them about Raid Guild, even that they can't understand fully. I mean, in MetaGame, we're literally creating our own like economy and minting our own money, all of that. that they'll never understand. I mean, at least it's just hard for them. But even Raid Guild, I tell them, like, group of people, we're all working on this project. We've never met each other, but we build awesome stuff. They don't believe it really.
But they see at least that the money is coming and you're living well, so that's good.
Yeah. That's why they aren't really saying anything. If the money wasn't coming, they would be more concerned.
But in the beginning, money wasn't coming. Like when you first started working on MetaGame, I believe the seeds were still like worth zero. Like there was no liquidity or anything. I think it was only like almost winter when we had like the seed market up and a bit of liquidity for people to actually be able to get paid. I think like when you join like the whole summer, it was just people were getting paid in tokens, and the tokens weren't worth anything. I mean, for the hackathon there was bounties, but yeah, outside of the hackathon.
That's true. Like, but then I haven't really, like, the seeds for now. I haven't really converted them to anything, so I just kept them mostly. Just planted them. Like most of my earnings, I just do get them from Raid Guild and some raids, and most of my seeds are as seeds. I think I did convert a few seeds to just show my mom that this is money, but I showed her, so you can convert it to ETH, and then you can convert ETH to rupees. That's how it works. And she was like, "Wow, okay, that's cool." But otherwise, most of my seed is just in seed or in P seed form.
Now I believe you. But yeah, it's good that you're able to earn enough from regular, like in stable coins, and like especially since you live in India, so you don't have to spend so much money, and you get to keep so much of your seeds. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, for now we still don't have a good market for seeds. Like when that does come up, it'll be more useful, I think. And for now, it's just a currency we have, but we aren't really using it much, right?
Right. Yeah, like most people are getting paid but aren't cashing out. Like if everybody was actually cashing out, then the price wouldn't be what it is anymore.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. The next update to the market should be pretty good. I don't know if you've seen the talks with adding the stable coin and a bunch more liquidity.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. I'm excited about Rai for sure. I'm not sure how it's going to help us, but I know Rai is cool. Like, I mean, anything's better than USD.
Yeah, I think our liquidity in the pool should pretty much double, which would mean that people should be able to sell now at like 10K with a 2% price move, which is like enormous, like in big crypto. But like for me, it's exciting because previously people like would sell $500 worth of seeds and the price would already move like 2%.
Yeah, you're right.
So 10K is great.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting, man. Like so many things are coming up. Even like the London hard fork itself is going to make a big difference, I feel.
The what?
And then London hard fork for the whole space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not particularly metagame, but yeah.
And 1559, that's happening today. Oh yeah, that's part of one hard fork. Okay. Because there's like multiple updates coming out. There's also Optimism coming out this month, right?
Yeah, I'm also looking at Arbitrum. Arbitrum is also pretty cool.
Nice. Did you think about setting up a local node?
Oh yes, I just bought a Nook like last week, set up everything, and I'll start staking soon from hopefully this week.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just reading up on all those things. You need to do everything securely.
Nice. I should get on the train as well.
Yeah, it seems pretty straightforward. So I think DApp node give their own systems. You can just buy it from there if you don't want to think too much. You don't want to worry too much.
Oh yeah. They're making it really simple.
Right, I just saw DApp node because the thing is it's coming from Europe and it's just easier. I can build the same thing locally, so I'm just doing it myself and much cheaper.
Yeah, makes sense. But yeah, like exciting times in metagame as well. Like we just need to finish a few more things around my meta, and we can raise some money. And then when we raise some money, there will be like actual liquidity and like more people that we can onboard, and like without being like, hey, yeah, maybe you'll be earning money. I mean, people are earning money, but like, yeah, it's not so easy to cash out. But after we do this, like in I'd say about 2 months, 3 tops, then we'll be able to actually scale and offer more opportunity to more people.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. And I'm also generally excited about the whole idea. I mean, I know you've spoken about this before, although we're not working on it actively now, but to create a framework for people to come up with their own metagames.
Right.
And I'm excited about that.
That's what I want us to focus on after finishing my meta. But finishing my meta, quote unquote, has been going on for a long time. But yeah, I want to build this calling the Meta OS, which is, I mean, you know all about it, but saying mainly for the listeners, the mega menu with like all the options that offer different applications. That right now we have all the applications that are part of MetaGame, but we want to integrate other dApps and the dashboard. Which I guess those are like the main two things about the Meta OS, like the dashboard, which is meant to display all the useful info and allow you to integrate other dApps. Like the dashboard itself should be super modular, and that like a persistent menu up above where people should be able to integrate anything. And then hopefully that should be useful for other DAOs, because like it seems that it's a big problem in the space currently that DAOs, I mean in general projects, but DAOs specifically use a shit ton of different tools and platforms for running themselves, and it's like all the pieces are all over the internet. So, and we have that that problem is huge in metagame. We have like 20 pieces all across different website domains and platforms, and we need to build this sort of like meta framework where all the pieces can just be plugged in. And then when we do that, people can start their own meta games.
Yeah, man. That I think will change a lot of things. I can see that impacting so many people around the world. Just we need to make that onboarding very simple for non-crypto native people to just come and understand everything and start their own DAO and their own community. I mean, it's not that simple, but should be easy. Should be awesome for sure.
I mean, starting your own won't be easy for for a while still, but I think we're doing great in terms of onboarding to our existing metagame, like even the non-technical people. But that's kind of the one of the main problems that I wanted to solve, because people in the space are all like they join and they're like, oh, I'm not a developer, so there's no way for me to contribute, there's nothing for me to do, and there's so much to do. So we really wanted to show that to people, show these different paths that are possible, different new skills they can learn besides coding, and different ways to contribute.
I mean, you are the biggest example of that, man.
yeah. You just gotta find your place.
It's amazing how much you contribute, and I don't see you writing any code.
You just gotta dig in and find ways to be useful.
Yeah, that's it. That's amazing, right? As long as you provide some value, you can create some value, you get paid for that value. It's as simple as that.
Right. But people, like most people coming in, are still like dealing with the fact just that like nobody tells them what to do. So they come here and they're like, oh, what should I do? What do I do? And expect to be told what to do.
It's your game. Just play the game.
Right. The ones who just come in and start doing things, they're the ones who like turn out most valuable, like to find their own ways to contribute. But metagame is really about helping people find their own metagame, not like as in software, but like your own game.
Yeah, man, totally. Yeah, I mean, Lux, I'm so awesome. I met Lux. So happy that I met Lux. He's such an amazing guy, and everything that he does in metagame. How is he able to do all of it? I don't know.
he's a developer and doing all the community stuff. That's so awesome. And yeah, we definitely need to improve these connections between the guilds, and I really want to kick off this more collaboration between MetaGame and Raid Guild. And I'll be having a call with Tate probably tomorrow to discuss the playbooks and some other things. But yeah, it's awesome that we have so many members that are in both Raid, like active in Raid Guild and MetaGame. I mean, I'm a member at Raid Guild as well, but I'm not active there. But yeah, we have you, Luxambra, we have Tay, who's less active here. We got Jonathan, who joined both cohorts at the same time. And I think it should be, yeah, with having all of these members in both places, it should be really easy to build an effective bridge and work on projects together.
Most definitely, man.
The first thing I see us collaborating on is on the playbooks UI, and possibly combining that with skill trees. It would make sense to Red Guild is building the technology for the skill trees, and we are making content for playbooks. That also needs a better UI. If we can build this together, that would be awesome.
Yeah, and it's not just for Metagame or Raid Guild. This playbooks is going to be an amazing thing and an important thing for the whole crypto space, the whole Ethereum space at least.
Right. Yeah, and the same with skill trees. Everything that's what I like so much. All the things that both Raid Guild and Metagame are trying to build. We're really trying to make it useful for all of the ecosystem and not just do it for ourselves.
Yeah, and that's what's exciting about the whole space. The whole space is very collaborative and community focused and people focused. And that's what is awesome about Ethereum, I feel, compared to the traditional startup economy or anything.
Yeah, definitely. You can just talk to people and you can DM CEOs are less common these days, I guess, with all the DAOs coming up. But even that, you can just, there are normal companies, you DM a CEO and he responds. You don't get that in traditional companies. Everybody is so approachable.
Everybody's so friendly, everybody is so helpful, everybody is so welcoming and willing to onboard people.
Yeah, I really hope it stays that way. Alright, yeah, I will also usually ask people at the end of the episode, what are some of the things that they are looking forward to in metagame or crypto in general, although we kind of already covered that a bit, but I still want to ask you, if you have anything that you want to point out.
I mean, in terms of ETH, I think everyone's excited about ETH 2.0.
Oh yeah.
I think that's going to be awesome. But in terms of metagame, yeah, I'm not too into what's happening right now. I'm just all over the place. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited about onboarding new people. I'm excited about building whatever we're building, continuing to build. I'm just excited about iterative development.
Oh yeah, it reminded me of what I also wanted to ask you about, that you're all over the place. You got into metagame and then you started spreading out, which is kind of the point of metagame, to be this starting point where people can just meet other people and then go out to other DAOs.
Yeah, like I said, I first joined Trojan DAO through James, and then came to DAO Hack Month, and then that's when I was working on two different projects, the metagame as well as the other I think Facebook Fly. And then after I completed that, I think, I don't know, we got some prize in that hackathon, and then Yelor found me, and then he asked me to join Raid Guild. I was already thinking about joining Raid Guild. I just didn't know, I didn't have an in, and Yellow was like, just join, man. Just send a proposal. And I was like, okay, cool, let's send a proposal. Because I was very new to the whole space. I mean, I thought I needed to know somebody. I mean, yeah, obviously I knew Yellow. I mean, I didn't know Yellow personally. He just saw me doing some good work in the hackathon and he was like, you'll be a good fit, just join. And Yellow is cool like that. He just gets these people into these spaces. It's amazing. So he's such a godsend for this space. Anyway, so then that's how I got into Raid Guild. And at the same time, I got into metagame. So that was around July last year, I think. It was when I joined both metagame and Raid Guild. And I was trying to, as soon as I joined Raid Guild, I got into a project. So I mean, in Raid Guild, there's just projects coming in one after the other. So I started working on that, and I'm also working on metagame in parallel. And it's been like that ever since. There's no day off, just working day in, day night.
Yeah, no, it's not a job. I get to work on my own terms, and then your own terms are worse than the one that boss was giving you.
Exactly. It's crazy, right? I'm just like, I enjoy working, so all the time I'm just thinking about this itself. Like, yeah, that's something I need to fix. I'm really bad with my time management.
Yeah, same here.
I'm so bad at it, man. I'm like, every time I'm trying new things. I was listening to the Penguins podcast, and he was telling me about the sticky notes thing. That's something I have to try out now.
Yeah, yeah, just make it more visible.
Yeah, something physical I think would help. Yeah.
I didn't know that you joined the Raid Guild and metagame at the same time. I thought you joined the metagame and then went on to Raid Guild.
No, I think I joined both at the same time almost. Like, and that's when I realized there are so many common people also. But yeah, it wasn't through metagame that I joined Raid Guild. No, it was through DAO Hack Month, but that was also conducted. Like, big part of it was metagame, I think.
Yeah, Dalhak month was metagame and Aragon. Like Aragon was doing their own hack for freedom hackathon, and we were doing the for the world. And like we started organizing our hackathon already, and then I saw that they are doing their hackathon, and then I just contacted Louise and like, hey, we are both doing a DAO focused hackathon in a same month. Let's just join forces. It's pretty awesome.
That was such an amazing experience, man. DAO Hack Month was super cool, so collaborative, and so many cool people. And that time, DAOs were still somewhat nascent. I mean, they still are now, but then it was still even more new that time. I didn't know anything about DAOs much. Like, I just joined Trojan DAO, but I didn't know anything about DAO House still that time. I just knew the Pokemon UI. And then Aragon was something I learned about that time. It was like everything was opening up to rabbit holes. Yeah. It's so deep.
Nice. Yeah, these hackathons tend to be hit and miss, like in terms of like what we get out of them. But sometimes we get awesome people like you who join through a hackathon and then just stay around. So that's awesome. I was planning on doing the DAO Hack Month every year, but then this summer, like after doing MetaFest, I just didn't want to organize any event for a while. I was just so burned out, and I didn't care about doing anything. I think we should do it next year.
Yeah, I mean that this burnout that you're talking about is such a big problem, I think, in this space. A lot of people are just working so hard right now, not thinking too much about their mental health. We really need to bring that in somehow.
Yeah, that's the issue that, that I mentioned previously about people working on their own terms, which are bad. Just working. People forgot what the weekend is, or like what it means to get off your job and enjoy the rest of your day. And it's hard because, yeah, like you said, like our heads are full of it because, I mean, we're excited about what we're doing. It's not easy to shut it down.
Yeah, I mean, even if you sleep, like somebody else is working hard at that when you're sleeping, and when you wake up, and there's so much that's happened overnight, and like shit, I'm so far behind, and that FOMO.
For moving to work.
Yeah, you like I can't afford to miss anything. So you open Twitter, every day something new is coming. These people release something new. Somebody else is working on something else.
Right, yeah, we're 45 minutes in. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything else that you want to talk about or mention?
Yeah, I guess I'll just say that don't focus too much on the work. Care about yourself too. Care about your mental health. And if you need someone to talk to, I'm always around. Just ping me.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, yeah, thank you for coming on, and thank you for being such an amazing person and a part of MetaGame.
And thank you for being such an amazing visionary and a good friend.
Thank you. See you around.